G'day. Today we're doing a transmission service on a CX-7 Mazda 2009 model 2.5 litre auto. Okay, while we've got it up, good idea to check under the car, all your hanger rubbers, anything out of the ordinary, ripped boots on the CVs or things like that. And to get to the transmission, we've got to remove this stone guard, so we'll just whiz that off. So these have the FS5AEL transmissions or the FNR5, very similar transmission. 8mm Allen key on the drain plug. Just make sure you clean all the road dirt or loose dirt around the pan. Now these pans are Celasticed on, so you've got to carefully use a blade like this. This one's been sharpened on the side and on there, so you can hammer it in and then just sort of cut that Celastic. So you just carefully hammer it in, and it's important, if you are moving it left and right, be aware that sometimes in here in the transmission you've got wiring going to the solenoids. You don't want to damage that while you're doing that. And because of the subframe there, you can't really do the other side, so you just do any access points that you can and just slowly work it off. Just started to loosen it now. You can see the whole pan wriggling, and we're being careful not to bend the pan rail, or you've got to basically get a new pan for it. Still will be a little bit of oil in there. There we go. Easy peasy. You can see there's a fair bit of metal on the magnet. We've got the filter out. So now it's important to clean all that Celastic off. There's your access to the solenoids. Just be aware, if you're looking up information online, Ford and Mazda have a similar transmission, well, same transmission basically, but they name the solenoids differently, so it can get confusing if we're not talking about the same thing. And you can see that pan hasn't been off for a while. There's a lot of metal on there. Most likely is that fine metallic debris is inside the solenoids and contaminating the coils. It reduces the operation of the solenoid. But you can see why it's important to actually take the pan off and do a filter service instead of just doing an oil change, which would be drop the oil like on an engine. You need to replace the filter. They have what's called Dacron material, which is like a synthetic felt, very fine. The idea is to try and trap as much of that muck in the filter as possible so it doesn't circulate through. And importantly, to clean the magnet and even add magnets if you can. Once that magnet's covered in all that muck, it won't work anymore. So the next place that all that fine metallic debris gets attracted to are your solenoids and your sensors. And these filters have what's called a 35mm pickup. New filter, don't forget to put the sensor up, clean the pan rail nicely. Pan's all nice and clean. We're putting a Duraprene gasket on this one. You can also put the cork rubber gaskets. And what we like to do, the magnet, we like to put it up on that little ridge. And the idea is to expose as much surface area of the magnet to the oil, so you get more surface area actually cleaning it. If you're adding a magnet like we like to do, neodymium magnet, make sure that you test where it's sitting. You don't want it near any sensors or solenoids or stopping the movement of anything like the selector might be moving there. So just before you bolt it up, before you put the gasket on, just test that. Okay, pan's all back on. Make sure you do the plug up tight enough if you've dropped the oil through there. And now we can put the stone guard back up. And we're putting the full synthetic oil in there. Good idea to push a tube down the dipstick. It'll eliminate any airlocks that you get in there if you're filling it with a funnel. So we've got 4 litres in, we can start it up. Go through all the gears. And we'll leave the motor running. We'll just check the oil level before we take it for a run. There we go. Enough. So these have to be warmed up to operating temperature, which is about 65 degrees. And you'll want to have it between the two, or up the upper end of that mark there. Little mark, and you want to get it between those two marks at operating temperature or 65 degrees. So I just need to top it up a little bit more, but you get the idea. Anyway, I hope that helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any comments or suggestions, leave them in the section below. Throw us a beer if any of this information helps or saves you a few dollars. Thank you for watching.